Okay, let's talk about the one thing nobody really prepares you for after you lose weight, especially with the new medications. It's that fear of gaining it all back. Today, we're going to dive into the science of how you can make your results last, and I mean for good.
Right? You've done all the hard work. You've seen those numbers on the scale finally go down. But there's always that little voice in the back of your mind, that nagging question, what happens when I stop? Was this all just temporary? It is without a doubt the biggest source of anxiety for anyone who's been on this journey. And this quote, wow, let's just sit with this for a second. This is so real for so many people. That mental quiet you finally found, that freedom from constantly thinking and negotiating about food, that's a huge relief. So when that food noise comes roaring back, it is so easy to blame yourself, to think you failed. But I'm here to tell you it has absolutely nothing to do with your willpower.
In fact, if you look at the clinical trials, like the big Step 1 extension study, they're brutally honest about this. They show that without a completely new game plan, people regain about 2/3 of their lost weight. And that's within just 1 year of stopping their medication. 2/3! That's a staggering number. And it tells you we're not dealing with a simple problem here.
So, if it's not a lack of willpower that's causing this rebound effect, then what in the world is it? Well, the real villain in this story? It's our own biology. A biology that's been thrown completely out of whack by the world we live in.
Let me say that again, because it's so important. It is not your fault. Your body is this incredible survival machine, right? And after you lose a lot of weight, it basically goes into panic mode. It desperately tries to get back to what it thinks is its normal weight, that higher set point. And believe me, it has some really powerful tricks up its sleeve to make that happen. Let's look at its number one weapon, something called metabolic adaptation. When you lose weight, your body's ancient survival instincts kick in. It literally thinks a famine has started. So it does the most logical thing it can think of. It goes into a kind of hibernation mode to save energy. Your resting metabolism can slow down by 200, even 400 calories a day. Now what that means is the normal amount of food you used to eat suddenly leads to this rapid, and let's be honest, deeply unfair weight regain. And our modern food environment just pours gasoline on this fire. See, our bodies were designed for food to travel the full 30 feet of our gut. Way down at the end, there's this satiation factory that sends the "I'm full" message to your brain. But here's the kicker. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to be absorbed in the first 5 feet. The message never even gets sent. Your brain is left thinking you're still starving, even if you just ate 1,000 calories.
But what if you could stop fighting against your biology and actually work with it? This is where things get really exciting. The secret weapon here isn't another pill or some miserable crash diet. It's understanding the science of satiety.
You know those medications that made the food noise go away? Well, they work by copying a hormone your body already makes. It's called GLP-1. Think of it as your body's built-in off switch for hunger. And here's the game-changing part. You don't need an expensive prescription to flip that switch. You can get your own body to release more of its own natural GLP-1 just by eating the right foods.
And this chart just illustrates the point perfectly. The satiety index. It measures how full different foods make you feel for the same amount of calories. Just look at this. A croissant, it barely makes a dent. You're hungry again in no time. But a simple, humble boiled potato, it's over 3 times more filling than white bread. It's not about eating less. It's about eating smarter so you feel fuller longer.
So, this is the crucial mindset shift. We have to reframe this whole thing. Forget the word dieting. Think of it as substrate loading. You are strategically giving your body the raw materials, the fiber, the protein, that it needs to crank out its own natural GLP-1, a hormone that is way more powerful and way more sustainable than willpower could ever hope to be.
Now, this science is the absolute key. But let's be real for a second. Nobody's going to carry around a satiety index chart in their back pocket. So how do you actually use this in real life? Well, that's the exact problem a tool called Eating Love was built to solve. It takes all of this amazing science and turns it into simple, delicious, and personalized meal plans that actually work for you.
And look how simple it is to get going. First, you just tell it your goals, and this is key, what kind of food you actually love to eat. We're not talking about bland, boring diet food here. Then, here's the really cool part. An AI coach basically becomes your personal nutritionist. It helps you make these little swaps to your favorite recipes to make them way more filling. And before you know it, you've built your very own library of go-to meals that you genuinely enjoy and that keep you satisfied.
And what makes this tool so special is the person who created it. The founder, Chef Osset, she isn't some random tech CEO.
She's someone who has been on this exact same journey since she was a teenager. She built Eating Love because she finally figured out what actually works, and she just had to share it.
And you can see the kind of impact this is having. People who use it, they talk about how it's finally something sustainable, how the stress of figuring out what to eat just vanishes, and how at the end of the day, it just works. This isn't just a nice idea. It's a real plan that is already changing people's lives. So, what does success actually feel like? Because it's about so much more than a number on the scale. It's about getting back that mental and emotional peace that you might be really scared of losing right now.
Imagine that constant nagging chatter in your head about food. The cravings, the guilt, the back and forth. Imagine it just fading. It doesn't just get quieter. The whole tone changes from this urgent emergency scream to a manageable whisper that you can easily ignore.
This is the ultimate goal. You are no longer in a daily battle against your own biology. Instead, you're giving your body exactly what it needs to feel safe, to feel nourished, and to feel satisfied. It stops being your enemy and becomes your partner in health. And all of this leads to this really powerful idea: appetite sovereignty. It's that feeling of being in control of your hunger instead of your hunger being in control of you. It's the freedom to make choices based on what your body actually needs, not what some intense craving is screaming for.
So, if any of this is resonating with you, that fear of regain, the frustration with the whole willpower thing, the hope for a solution that finally sticks, then the next step is super simple and, honestly, completely risk-free.
And get this, once your free trial is over, access to everything, the AI coach, the personalized plans, the whole shebang is just $5 a month. Not $1,000 for a prescription, $5 for a permanent solution. And even better, you can try the entire platform, every single feature, for a full 30 days for absolutely free. No commitment, no catch. You get to see for yourself if this is the plan that's finally going to work for you. So I guess the only question left is for you. Are you ready to stop the yo-yo cycle for good? To trade that war with your body for a true partnership? Are you ready to turn the success you've already had into a permanent, confident new way of life? The power to make this change last is right here. This is the maintenance plan you've been looking for. Go ahead and click the link below and start your free trial today.